So I'm going to go through a couple of examples here. We are still in the same section, which was reference angles and the trig unit. I'm just going to go through the examples at the end there. So the first example says express sine of 240 as a function of a positive acute angle. So that means you want to find what the reference angle is. So 240 degrees ends up to be somewhere down here. So we know that our reference angle, the quickest way back to the x-axis, is going right here. So we would do 180 minus, 240 minus 180, because you're cutting out this whole section here, and that will leave you with 60 degrees. So we know that the sine of 240 is going to be something like the sine of 60. But now we need to figure out, is it still positive, is it negative? Does it stay positive? Does it stay negative? Does it change? So we know in the first quadrant, all things are positive. In the second, sine is. In the third, tangent is. And in the last, cosine is. So if tangent is positive here, it means that sine is negative. So the sine of 240 is equal to the negative sine of 60. And that is a positive acute angle. That is our final answer for that question. That's all there is to it. The second example has three parts there. They say find the exact value of each of these. So starting with the first one, we need to find the exact value. So to do that, we're going to need to use, you guessed it, reference angles. 315 degrees is somewhere in here. So we need to find our reference angle right here. So to do this, we would do 360 minus 315, which gives us 45 degrees. So we are looking for, now we know that the tangent of 315 equals something like the tangent of 45. Again, we have our all students take calculus. So tangent in the fourth quadrant is going to be negative. So it's negative tan of 45. And then if you remember your 45, 45, 90 triangle, the sides are 1, 1, square root of 2. So the tangent of 45 is opposite over adjacent. So that's going to be negative, because we have our negative here, 1 over 1, which is just negative 1. If we want to find the secant of 5 pi over 4, the first thing you need to do with this one is change it from radians to degrees. So to do that, we have 5 pi over 4. We want to multiply by 180 over pi. So our pi's cancel. If we do 5 fourths times 180, you actually end up with 225 degrees. So we are looking for the secant of 225. So this is what we are looking for now, the secant of 225. Again, we need to find a reference angle. So we'll take and sketch out 225 is more than 180 but less than 270, so we're in here somewhere. And our reference angle is going to be here. So we would do 225 minus 180 gives us again 45. And in the third quadrant, if you look over here, we still have all students take calculus. So tangent is positive, which means secant would be negative. So this will mean we are looking for the negative secant of 45. I'm just going to use our same 45, 45, 90 triangle right here. And if we recall from the other day, secant is matches up with cosine, and if cosine is adjacent over hypotenuse, secant is hypotenuse over adjacent. So in this case, we're going to have negative, our hypotenuse is square root of 2, our adjacent is 1, so that just ends up being negative square root of 2. and cotangent of negative 210. Well, we want to go ahead and sketch our angle. We're going negative this time, so we're going backwards. This is 180, so 210 is in here somewhere, and we're looking for this little piece here. So how far is it from the angle back to the x-axis? We're going to do 210 minus 180, which will give us 150 degrees. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize. That's not what we want to do. If we found the positive angle this side, we would do 360, take away that 210, so it's 150 degrees. And then we could find our other angle right here. So 180 minus 150 gives us 30. So we are looking for the cotangent of 30 degrees. And if we're still looking at all students take calculus, that means that in the second quadrant, cosine or cotangent is negative. So negative cotangent of 30. We'll need our 30, 60, 90 triangle. So we have 1, 2, and the square root of 3. I know that's kind of in the logo there. I'm sorry about that. 1, 2, square root of 3. Cotangent goes with tan. If tan is opposite over adjacent, cotangent is adjacent over opposite. So for 30 degrees, our adjacent is square root of 3. Our opposite is 1, and it's negative, so that is negative square root of 3. I know I kind of ran out of room there. I'm sorry about that. These next two, we're actually going to go over in class. So make sure that you have your notes packets with you. You've copied these down, and you're ready to go. Other than that, have a wonderful night.